conductance of the circuit, which is 20 millisiemens. This is BC. BC is the capacitive susceptance, which is equal to 3 millisiemens. This is BL. BL is the inductive susceptance. It is 80 millisiemens. This vector will indicate BL minus BC, and if you are find the resultant of G and BL minus BC, then it will give you the value of admittance Y, which is equal to 78 milliseconds. Similar to this, in this particular diagram, if you are find the resultant of IL minus IC, this is IL minus IC, and IR, then resultant will give you the total supply current. So IS is the resultant current and Y is the resultant of conductance and BL minus BC. So this is a admittance triangle, this is a current triangle for a given data. Now parallel resonance. In last session we discussed about series resonance. In series resonance, what happened? The inductive reactance and capacitive reactance are neglect the effect of each other, means XL minus XC is equal to 0, and the circuit having R, L and C is become like a only resistive circuit. Effect of inductor and capacitor is cancelled out. So in series resonance circuit, your impedance Z is equal to R and your current is become maximum due to the minimum value of impedance. And what happen in parallel circuit, that we are discussed today. So in parallel resonance circuit containing a R, L and C will produce a parallel resonance when the resultant current through the parallel combination is in phase with the supply voltage. Now in parallel circuit, we know that current passing through resistor is always in phase with the voltage, but current passes through the inductor and capacitor having some phase difference. But when the supply current Is is in phase with the voltage, that condition is known as the parallel resonant condition. A parallel resonant circuit stores the circuit energy in the magnetic field of the inductor and the electric field of a capacitor. As we know, inductor and capacitor have a characteristic to store the energy, and inductor having a characteristic that it will oppose the instantaneous change of current, while a capacitor will oppose instantaneous change of voltage. So they store a energy and they supply the energy whenever required. This energy is constantly being transferred back and forth between the inductor and the capacitor, which results in zero current and energy being drawn from the supply. Because of the nature of inductor and capacitor, this energy being transferred back and forth between inductor and capacitor, so due to which it will result in zero current and the energy being drawn from the supply. This is because the corresponding instantaneous values of IL and IC will always be equal and opposite. As we draw a vector diagram, your IL and IC are in opposite direction. And what happen? If you are finding a value of IL and IC at any instant, the value of these two currents are equal and opposite at each and every instant, then the net effect is equal to 0 because they are cancel out the effect of each other. So net effect of IL and IC will be 0. Resonance occurs when XL is equal to XC and the imaginary parts of Y become 0. Imaginary part of Y is susceptance. So when susceptance is equal to 0, then it is known as a parallel resonant circuit, means the effect of susceptance in the circuit is 0. These are the equations for parallel resonance. Condition is that when XL is equal to XC, so XL is equal to XC, so it is 2 pi FL is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC. So F square is equal to 1 upon 2 pi L into 2 pi C. So it is like this, 1 upon 4 pi square LC is equal to under root of 1 upon 4 pi square LC. So FR is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root LC. Unit is hertz. So if you are write the equation in form of omega r, then omega r is equal to 2 pi f. So omega r is equal to 1 upon under root LC, and unit of omega is radians. So here it is radians. Now resonant frequency using impure component. So FR is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root of 1 upon LC minus R square by L square. If we are considering that we are having a pure component, then our equation of FR is like this. But practically it is not possible that pure inductor, pure capacitor and pure resistance is available. So there is some impurities are always there. Actually we are neglecting that impurities and use this equation to find the FR. But if we are consider the impurities of the components, then your actual equation for resonant frequency is like this. If you are considering the effect of resistance and inductor, so it is under root of 1 upon LC minus R square by L square. Actually the value of R square by L square is very less, so you can neglect it, and your equation is become like this. It is 1 upon 2 pi under root LC. But for a accurate calculation we are using this equation. Now at resonance, the parallel LC tank circuit acts like an open circuit, with the circuit current being determined by the resistance R only. As we discussed earlier, that the imaginary part of the admittance is become 0 at the time of resonance, means effect of inductor and capacitor is become 0. So this circuit act like a open circuit, and the circuit is treated just like a resistance only circuit. So this is the diagram for a RLC parallel circuit. In first diagram, this is our resistance, inductor and capacitor. Maximum current will flowing through the circuit. Here it is IR, here it is IL minus IC. But when resonance will occur, what happen? The effect of inductor and capacitor is become 0, because the value of IL minus IC is 0. It will indicate that no current will flowing through these two branch, and it will happen only when you are considering this portion as a open circuit. So you can redraw this circuit like this. This is our resistive branch, it kept as it is, and this is our L and C branch, which is represented by a open circuit, because at the time of resonance your IL minus IC, actually the current passing through these two branches IL minus IC, which is drawn in figure 1, but at the time of resonance IL minus IC is equal to 0. So this portion is represented over here by a open circuit. Reactive current is 0. At resonance the reactive current is 0. So this portion is considered as a open circuit portion. At resonance, the impedance of the parallel circuit is at its maximum value and equal to the resistance of the circuit, because the effect of reactance is 0. So impedance is equal to resistance of the circuit. Then the impedance of the circuit at resonance Z is equal to R max, is called the dynamic impedance of the circuit. When you are considering the parallel circuit, at the time of resonance, effect of inductance and capacitance are neglected, and your impedance is equal to R max, and it is known as the dynamic impedance of the circuit. This is the diagram which shows the impedance, variation of impedance in parallel resonance circuit. As shown in diagram, on x-axis there is a frequency, on y-axis there is an impedance of the circuit. Now this point will indicate the point at which we get a resonant frequency Fr. So at this particular point your value of impedance Z is equal to R, which is maximum. So this will indicate the maximum value of impedance. Now before the resonant frequency, this portion is your capacitive portion, because at this particular portion your value of capacitive reactance is higher than the value of inductive reactance. So this portion is your capacitive portion, and after the resonant frequency this portion is known as the inductive portion, because your value of inductive reactance is higher than the capacitive reactance. So this is a capacitive region, this is a inductive region, and this value of impedance is known as the dynamic impedance of a parallel circuit. Now note that if the parallel circuit impedance is at its maximum at resonance, they constantly the circuit admittance must be at its minimum, because impedance and admittance both are inversely proportional to each other. So if you are consider that impedance of the circuit is maximum, obviously it will indicate that admittance of the circuit is minimum. So in parallel resonance circuit your impedance is maximum but your admittance is minimum. We know that at the resonance frequency Fr, the admittance of the circuit is at minimum and is equal to conductance, because the susceptance part, or you can say imaginary part of Y, is equal to 0 at the time of resonance. So at the time of resonance Y is equal to G, and it will give you the minimum value of admittance, which is given by 1 upon R, because in parallel resonance circuit the imaginary part of admittance, which is susceptance B, is 0, because BL is equal to BC, means inductive susceptance is equal to capacitive susceptance. So your net susceptance is equal to 0. This is the diagram which shows susceptance at the time of resonance. In first diagram it will indicate the inductive susceptance. Now this curve will shows the variation of susceptance with respect to frequency. Susceptance BL, which is equal to minus 1 upon 2 pi FL. So it will indicate that inductive susceptance is inversely proportional to the frequency. So it will indicate the variation of susceptance with respect to frequency, and it is inversely proportional to F. So it is like this inverse curve. Now capacitive susceptance, so BC is equal to 2 pi FC. So it will indicate that your capacitive susceptance is directly proportional to the frequency. So this is a straight line. It will indicate as frequency will increases, your capacitive susceptance increases. Now this is the combination of two, BL and BC. So this is BL, this is our BC. Now if you are change the value of frequency, then at certain point you get that both the curves are intersect each other. So this is the point at which BL is equal to BC. So this point is known as a resonant frequency point, at which your inductive susceptance is exactly equal to your capacitive susceptance. So this is our FR. Now if you are compare this diagram with the diagram of series resonance circuit, then you can say that it is exactly opposite to the series resonance circuit. Now in series resonance circuit, what happened? Instead of BL, we are considering XL, which is equal to 2 pi FL. So the diagram of XL is just like BC. It is linearly proportional. So in series circuit, XL is represented by a straight line. And what is the equation for XC? It is 1 upon 2 pi FC. So XC is inversely proportional to frequency. So when you are considering a series circuit, your graph for XC is like this, similar to BL, inversely proportional to frequency. So in parallel, graph of BL is inversely proportional to frequency. In series, graph of XC is inversely proportional to frequency. So series and parallel circuit both are exactly opposite to each other. Instead of XL, here it is BC, instead of XC, here it is XL. So both are opposite to each other. In series circuit, inductive circuit is proportional to frequency, while XC is inversely proportional. Here it is BL is inversely proportional and BC is directly proportional to the frequency. From above, the inductive susceptance BL is inversely proportional to the frequency as represented by a hyperbolic curve in first diagram. First diagram we will show that BL is inversely proportional to the frequency. So inverse graph is drawn over there. And the capacitive susceptance BC is directly proportional to the frequency and it is therefore represented by a straight line. Second graph. In second graph, we draw a straight line which will indicate the directly proportional to the frequency. As frequency will increases, your BC will increases. Then we can say that at the resonant frequency point, where it crosses the horizontal axis, the total circuit susceptance is 0.